No, that's not the sound of the apocalypse that you just heard. It's the sound heralding the return of the Bungie podcast. Here's Frank O'Connor, Brian Gerard, Luke Smith, and this week's special guest, Lars Bakken.
We're the Bungie kids with plasma pistols glowing. It's our podcast show with Brian and friends and Frankie.
Oh man, I'm not in this show's credits either.
The Bungie Broadcasting Corporation is proud to present Frank O'Connor.
It's been 9 months since we made our last podcast. I have to say that on a person-by-person basis, Luke is responsible for most of that time. He's been here 2.5 months. That's a 2.5 month delay for one person. The rest of the people that worked on the podcast was like 9 people.
Yeah.
And so we were responsible for like a couple of weeks each maximum. So this is Luke's fault.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Lars?
No comment.
That's a comment.
Yeah.
You can't say
Okay.
no comment and then comment.
That's true.
No, I want to
That's
hear
true.
your comment.
My comment was, it's about time we got this podcast going again.
Well, we just got back from our tour after the last release. We're just now wrapping up that. We had to support it, promote it. Just now coming back down, getting a chance to
9 months on the road.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it's grueling.
If you
Hard
guys were a
times.
band, which band would it be?
See, Luke is saying that because a nice lady from AOL and Blender magazine asked me to compare Bungie to a band.
Oh.
Like, if you were a band on tour, what band would you be? And I just spazzed out, and I was like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones because I couldn't think of any other band. Like, I don't even have a Beatles album, not
Like
one.
what kind of Beatles? Like Ed Sullivan Beatles or Sgt. Pepper's Beatles?
No, it was worse. I said, like, the Beatles getting back together even though 2 of them are dead.
Oh, so like
Ooh,
just
with the-
Ringo and John.
No.
terrible.
I had them coming back from the dead because Halo 3 was so awesome.
Okay.
That's how bad my metaphor got twisted. Seriously, it was really bad.
So
I
someone
quit.
somewhere is going to print that?
Well,
It's
so
possible.
That, just
Let's
like
hope
Halo
not.
3, that too would be the biggest entertainment event of all time.
Somebody supplied a document with a ready-made quote from me in it, and it said that Halo 3 is the greatest entertainment experience of all time. And I'm like, wait, I never said that, nor nothing like it.
How
And
quickly
they're like,
they
well,
forget.
what would you like to say?
Well, 9 months ago, the Bungie podcast was the greatest entertainment experience of all
Emmy
time.
Award winning, right?
Yeah, it's never been.
We
it's
won a
never been
couple
bettered.
of like Razzies and some of those
w-
obscure awards.
It was the white album of podcasts.
Yeah,
So it was one side too long?
No,
So-
just literally didn't have a label.
Walk us through your new format here, because its
Really
quality bar seems to be a lot lower. Some would
Yeah,
argue.
well, I mean, I brought you guys back.
Where's the music? Where's the announcer?
Well, there was the music at the beginning. We don't need an announcer for right now. Are you kidding me? What are
Yeah,
you
but
trying
we
to do?
we didn't know we were going to go commando style on our podcast.
If that's all people wanted, we would have done this 9 months
Yeah.
ago.
No, you wouldn't have. You've been
Yeah, we
busy
would
working on the
have.
game.
If we'd have known that USB device was what was causing us all the problems, we'd have done this 9 months ago.
Yeah, because last week when the equipment actually arrived, Jay brought all this equipment up. And,
same equipment as last time, I might add.
Yeah, same equipment as last time, but with some sort of weird box. Was you guys using that before?
We were.
Yeah, it was not hooked up properly last time.
No, the way to hook it up properly is to completely unplug it, as it turns out. No, seriously, that was the problem. Just
yeah, it
remove
was.
it
Once
from
that
the
box went away, things were looking pretty
Yeah.
good.
Today, by the time people are listening to this, E3's already happened, and you guys did a bunch of work.
E308 just wrapped.
It's actually
true.
just starting.
It did. It is. What?
Unless production.
So
it does.
E3 has just started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
E3's just started. You guys are there now.
We're there now, yeah.
We're here and there.
We're recording live from E3. We're not. No.
But the last 2 weeks have sort of been a giant hodgepodge of getting everything ready for E3.
Yes, a well-oiled machine of getting ready for E3, like you said.
So what work went into the E3 presentation?
A lot of practicing camera angles.
You're referring to our small behind the closed
Yeah, I'm
behind
referring to
closed
like
doors
there's a
intimate demo that we're doing.
There's allegedly a 2-part, right?
Well, there's
Two parts behind the closed doors.
two
yeah,
parts
there's the
behind
2 parts
closed
behind the
doors,
closed
yeah.
doors. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's
we're-
gameplay
Yep.
and a campaign level, which should we just go ahead and name it? Are people going to know by then? Yeah, they are. They'll
Possibly,
know.
yeah.
There's
they'll see
no
a lot of-
embargo.
Won't
There'll
they
be
be
some
able to?
screenshots that we just finished that'll
Well-
be released by the time people are listening to this.
We call it Jungle, but technically the name of the level is Sierra 117 or Spartan 117 for you. Those of you in the military know.
Really? See,
Yeah, wink doesn't work on the radio. I just realized. I just winked and made a sound effect. And
So
it
you're
just
gonna use
sounds
it in
like
real life.
It sounds like an African jumbo tribal speak that you just made on
Click,
the
click.
air. I know.
But anyway, it's called Sierra 117. It's the first level from the game. It's kind of a training level. So one of the ironies of showing that is that we don't show off a lot of stuff because you don't have a lot of stuff at the start, right?
Just skills.
That's enough for Luke. He can walk through jungle or Sierra 117 with just the skills, and brutes commit suicide when they hear he's coming.
Yeah.
They just read about it in their Covenant newspapers and just kill themselves.
I mean, I think everyone knows that that's pretty much what happens in campaign. Multiplayer is a different story, though, Lars.
Yeah, that's the other half of our E3 demo. That
Right. So
Lars
the
helped
other,
coordinate.
yeah, we recorded a film on. Well, I guess the map has been revealed already, huh?
Yeah,
Right,
it
right
has
through
been.
GamePro.
You can even name it. It's a new name.
It's Sand Trap. It's the big open desert map that you guys saw in GamePro. We recorded kind of a crazy Team Slayer match, and we're going to do a save film demonstration behind closed doors for the lovely, wonderful people at E3.
So what is a saved film? Define it for people who are listening to this for the first time.
So a save film is basically just playback of the game that you just played. We've given people kind of a lot of options. If you played with the beta, you know that it was really limited, but in the final version of the game, you're going to be able to stop time, slow-mo, rewind, break the camera out into free flying and move anywhere and look at anything as it's happening. Take screenshots, record clips. It's crazy. It's totally fully featured and awesome.
Don't you think that stop time is a somewhat grandiose exaggeration of pause?
Pause.
There you go.
Yeah,
Bam,
but
pause.
stop time sounds so much better.
No, I mean, if you...
It sounds like a superhero ability.
it's like the Matrix
does.
or like our QuickTime VRs that we
Right.
do for the 3D screenshots on Bungie now, but it is awesome.
Lars, can you give us any insights into last time people heard about this map? It was called Shrine, and now it's called Sand Trap. When did that come about? What was the logic behind that?
That's relatively recent change. All
Is
our
that
maps.
the final name? Can we expect it? Is it going to change again?
I don't think it'll change again. We go through a process where we have the maps named internally one thing, and then we change them normally before the game ships.
Right.
Is someone really into golf? Why Sand
Yeah,
Trap?
isn't Valhalla Fairway
think-
now? No.
Jub is called the Nuke.
Right.
But so Sandtrap's the final name. It is the biggest map we've got, right?
Totally the biggest map we've got.
Is it the biggest map ever?
Some
Biggest Halo
people have
map
called
ever?
it the biggest map ever. Multiplayer map for sure, obviously. Not
And we mean
single
Halo.
player.
We're not claiming we made the biggest video game map of all
course.
time.
The biggest Halo multiplayer map. We should qualify that.
You did say that you could fit 25 Oblivions into it, right?
No. 22.
Okay. That was a fake fact, kids. Don't
Yes,
don't
it's not
put that on
true
the
at all.
interwebs. Well, so saved films, are they just for multiplayer? Can you do it in campaign?
Ooh, good question.
It's a rhetorical question.
Wow, do we have a fact sheet that we're going
I don't know
through?
if I should talk about that. That's top secret. You guys will probably talk about that at E3, right? So I should let you talk about that.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys keep up with the Game Press, but I think we revealed that a few months ago.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is that something like maybe us revealing the sword to EGM back in November, but you didn't?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the video on the internet where you got all like aggro and Lars was talking about the sword. Like, don't talk about the sword. Oh, wait,
we don't talk
revealed it
about
already.
that show here. That's some. We don't. Yeah, we have our own journalism standards. We don't.
But
we
yeah,
don't
saved
stoop to that level.
saved films and screenshots work in campaign.
We report
and
the real
co-op.
news.
And
If you heard what Frank just said,
saved
Say
films
it
work
again.
in campaign and multiplayer.
Yeah,
right?
they do actually. You know, to be honest, that's how we generate all the screenshots that people are looking at right now, maybe on their computer. All the ones that we put out recently. The shot that was out of came on the Wall Street Journal this week.
That
which-
campaign shot that everyone
Yep,
was.
everyone's. Is that
claiming.
real? Is that fake?
Yeah,
What's
they
going
didn't know if
on?
It was real. It was just
I-
taken from a safe film.
I took that shot myself. I walked Chief up in a film.
Yeah, walk us through that slowly.
Yeah.
Imagine if you will. Honestly, I walked Chief up
Talk
to an
lower.
area. I knew it was for Wall Street Journal, so I didn't want to be blowing a bunch of stuff up. It needed to be fairly iconic, fairly easy to read and print. We use that to refer to like newspapers. That's sort of the jargon that we talk about around here. So we just sort of posed Chief in a non-menacing way that people would be think was cool and against a cool backdrop with
Say
nice
that
lighting.
slower. We posed the chief.
Yeah, well, by pose, I literally walked him, turned him, did this
Yeah.
really hard button press that we can do to make him lower his gun for the purposes of taking non-violent screenshots. And actually, that harkens back to the Halo 2 days when we added that functionality for RVB and the machinima community. We allowed people to lower the weapon strictly on their account, and We did find a way to make that carry over to Halo 3, but it's a little harder to execute now.
Right.
Like
I don't know if you guys have tried it. But
I don't even know
Yeah,
what
I
it
read the
is.
instructions. I was all scared.
I mean, honestly, it could change between now and what we actually launch, but to do it currently in the build, it's you have to hit left bumper, right bumper, both sticks, down on the D-pad and the A button all at the same time and hold it for 3 seconds.
Do you have like someone else's hands who help you with this?
I have an assistant that usually does that.
He works the D-pad.
Yeah.
or the
Fingers
sticks?
McGee. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a real shot. And for Safe Films, we go in, we play awesome multiplayer games, single player games, rewind the films, go on a flying cam, find cool angles, and take a screenshot.
Now, is it true, and I read this somewhere, that Luke Smith is the most competitive player ever to a fault where we're trying to take movies
Yeah.
or screenshots, and he's like, I got BR. I'm going to own you.
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
shoot
true.
you from all the way across the map with my BR.
Yeah,
Lars.
he has been banned from any future screenshot sessions for sure because there's a little bit of an art to it. You kind of have to get close enough to and get a composition. But
Oh God.
Luke just kills everybody,
Yeah.
steals everything. We're trying. Yeah, he doesn't really play
Yeah,
well.
he's like, we're all standing there posing in the sunlight, and he comes and drops grenades in there.
Yeah.
He's like, I owned you. I owned you.
Overkill.
I mean, he's standing over people's corpses, humping them, like
Humping.
shooting them with rockets. It's
Wasn't
it
that-
makes for some good show.
was that
but
you or Luke? That,
kinda
or no, that
angry.
was Frank who was humping me today, and then
Yeah.
got Spartanly.
No,
Frank,
I
Frank-
got caught
Frank
in
was
an
humping you,
animation
and
bug
that
loop.
that fueled my competitive desire, and I Spartan lasered it.
Fuels
Hard.
some sort of desire. I got to be careful what I'm doing.
How many takes did it require us to actually get the final film that we're going to show at E3?
Oh, we didn't do it in one.
Yeah, come on.
Well, the
I think we did.
the
It's
sand
like
trap thing, it was
7.
like-
Yeah.
The
7
sand trap
or
thing
8
was,
maybe.
yeah, it was
total.
like 8 tries just
And
to get a cool
not
movie.
as easy
And
as it
honestly,
sounds.
let's face
I
it,
mean-
it would have been 2 if it hadn't been for Carney
Yeah.
going on his rampage
Carney-
like an idiot.
like the beginning of one match. Hey, what's that guy doing on the mongoose? Oh, it's Carney.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted everybody to sort of clash and make a big, massive explosion in the beginning, and there goes Carney by himself on foot.
Yeah. He's gone. I was going to say Brokeback, but I meant Broken Arrow.
Oh, look,
But
it's
as
a
it turns
warthog.
out-
Why get on the turret when you can ride in the passenger seat?
Yeah.
That makes for a really exciting film.
I don't think that was Carney. I think that was like 2 of the contractors were doing that.
Yeah. no.
Oh,
Yeah, but they were doing that because they didn't really know what was going on. They were bewildered.
we did just kind of sit him down in front of the TV and
What?
say,
Tyson explained it like 6
well,
times.
yeah, true.
Well, some people don't follow scripts. They want to improvise, and it's tough being directors.
Yep. Tyson explained it in Warcraft terms as well, so everyone was confused.
On
I
this
did
raid,
hear Tyson say
Get in your
afterwards
mount.
that I did hear Tyson say afterwards that Carney would never work in this town again.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah. Carney kept hitting on the extras, eating all the craft services tables.
Yeah. It's funny to talk about people on the radio. Carney is like nearly 7 feet tall. He's 6'9", shocker red hair,
you just
crazy freckles, wears
you just
sunglasses
described
all the time.
Ultimate future game.
Yeah.
It's Ultimate Future Games, Frank.
Yeah. Guys are jerks. You're just jealous because you've only had one state of having hair.
So, Frank, are you walking up on stage for the keynote, or what's up with that? I've seen there's been a lot of forum noise. People are demanding to see Frankie on
I was
stage.
wanna
thinking of
see
giving a
Frank on
keynote.
stage?
I could give a keynote. I got real tattoos.
Give me the
You do,
practice
that's true.
keynote. How do you introduce Microsoft to the audience?
From the people who brought you Windows Bob and Excel comes Halo, a scrolling shoot 'em up set in many centuries hence.
Ship it.
Yeah, ship it. No, I can't talk on stage, actually. True story.
You can't.
Freeze up.
Stage
Really?
fright.
Just freeze up, yeah.
Sketch. So are you going to do it?
Will I go up on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Why not?
No, it's not my style.
You just like to sit in the audience and watch other people do their thing?
Yeah, and I'm like those guys in the Muppets up in the balcony. I just talk trash about everyone.
They should have a balcony at the keynote. Like,
We
they
should
should
do
let
that.
us sit up in a balcony.
Rather than do our E3 show now, we should do it at
What
E3.
are those old guys called? Aren't they brothers or something?
The
I don't
old
know.
Muppet guys?
They just
Yeah, the
talk
old
trash.
Muppet guys,
It's fun.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure
you saw the
someone could figure
rehearsal
that
for
We
all
out.
should bring
this.
our portable deal down there. We could send an update in semi-live from the floor.
It'll be out like 2 weeks later.
How long would we last heckling Peter Moore at E3?
Not very long. I've seen
No?
those guns.
Yep. And I'd climb up there himself and toss us off onto the crowd below. Are we going to try and sneak into the Killzone party afterwards?
I don't know. I've heard about it. Luke, what do you know about that?
What do you know? You're fresh from the
What do you
industry.
know about the Halo killer?
Why they want to kill Halo? We just want to be their friends.
Nobody's dubbed it a Halo killer yet.
You know, I remember, what was it, E3 2003? We met those guys. They were super nice. And
Yeah, they're kind of awesome.
they're
So-
like, oh, hey guys, well, we never said Halo killer. That was a bunch of PR marketing guys.
we knew that. Like
Yeah.
lots of people think that like industry people are all like at each other's throats and competitive, and we're not. Like except for Pitar.
Well, except for you and Miyamoto.
Yeah, me and Miyamoto have a long time thing going on. I claim that I invented Donkey Kong, and he denies it. He's a liar.
You guys have this weird rivalry.
It's steeped in love, though. Really.
Yeah, it's a lot of tension in the room.
Yeah, it's a lot of jealousy. Where's that going? Miyamoto's going to kick my ass at E3 now. He's going to be.
Sure
He's
is.
probably going to download this on his iPod and like kick me off a train. So it's going to happen.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. Are we
When
riding
did you and
trains?
Miyamoto get on a fictional
This was-
train?
Brian
Is this
made
a
it
Danny
up. He
DeVito
started
movie?
it.
What?
Now
I've
I'm in an
read
alternate
internet
universe.
reports where you threw down the gauntlet. Miyamoto said he can make
Oh,
Halo.
yeah,
You
that's
I
said-
forgot
right.
about those.
It's a real beef.
Oh, that's right.
It's never been addressed publicly. You've never owned up to it.
Yeah. So Miyamoto said something in Japanese that was translated as we could have made a game like Halo, you know, and it was literally like retranslated through the wonder of the internet as
Like us.
We could have made Halo and we would have knocked it out of the park, but like he didn't say anything of the kind. So we ended up in this weird situation where like we're defending Miyamoto for not having said something he never said, and
Well, I thought you told Joystick, like, yeah, I'm making a Mario game.
yeah.
You
So I
said-
told
you said that.
in an interview with Joystick, I made jokes. I was like, yeah, we're working on a game with plumbers and whatnot, and then like literally, I couldn't have made a more ridiculous statement. And then next day on the internet, like outrageous claim from Bungie that they could beat Mario.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my god.
Internet sometimes has no sense of humor.
And sometimes too much of one.
Yeah,
True.
Because it's all about the cat memes.
You want to go there, really, don't you?
Yeah, I do want to go there.
Why? You make these, and like, you'll sit at
No,
your desk
I
and
thi-
make one.
Here's the thing. I think we're going to have Halo memes. I think people are going to take screenshots in the Halo 3 screenshot thing, put wacky captions on them,
Yep.
and eventually it'll be an annoying meme.
We've
It's
already
gonna be
seen
awesome.
a few of those internally. They're awesome.
Like, what examples?
I've seen some really nice
Can it be
animated.
Blazer time now, please?
That's an instant classic.
That's number one.
I've seen some guys take their films and make some cool little animated GIFs. Even from the beta, people out there
Yep.
were doing some fun stuff.
It's true. And I think Saved Films first off, the ability to see an awesome moment from any angle means you can kind of set it up to be whatever you want. This is not a cat, though. There's something adorable about a cat doing it.
I don't understand your love of cats, Frank.
I don't love cats at all, but I like
And
cat
you're-
pictures.
the irony is you're deathly allergic to cats.
Yeah, I don't like cats.
They will literally kill you.
You just
I'm
said you
allergic to
don't
them.
like cats.
Don't
but
you
I
get-
like
just
pict-
previously
I like
you said-
pictures of them with captions on.
Don't you get a
They are
shot
funny.
every week so you don't die from
Yeah,
your
he
cat?
does. Yeah.
It's true.
And every morning when he wakes up, his wife he wakes up with his cat on his chest, curled up, and
There's-
he can't breathe.
No, my cat's too big for that. That would actually
that's
just
why
be rib compression causing the lack of
Exactly.
breathing,
That's
not
why you
asthma.
can't breathe.
Your cat's bigger than most small children.
Yeah, it's a huge, huge bastard of a cat. No
Boy,
doubt.
this podcast has gone awry.
Anyway, let's get back on Halo.
Yeah. Back
Actually,
on
I
track.
tried to bring it back with the screenshot talk. Who is the best Halo player in this room right now? Look over to you and explain why.
Over me?
No. Over to you.
Oh,
Explain who the best player in the room is right
Lars
now.
is the most.
Oh, you're
consistent
such
player
a
in the room.
suck up. I'm just saying that so that
he
he doesn't
just-
change some weapon balance on you.
That's right.
You
But
think
it-
you're better than Lars. I know you do.
Yeah, maybe. I think that I think that, but Lars is really consistent. That's the thing about Lars is like every game that Lars plays, he plays well. Where Frank and like Brian both, like you both are, you
Hit or
guys
miss.
are-
I'll admit I'm
You're like hot
wildly
and cold.
inconsistent.
I'm all across the board. I admit that. When I'm hot, I'm hot. When I'm not,
Yep.
not so much.
I'm all over the place. I have no situational awareness
Why do you think
or
we
drama.
don't have
Yes,
Lars?
it's
Whatever
true.
happened to the internal official
The,
one-on-one or two-on-two
one-on-one?
ladder?
We got to start that.
When are we really going to have the definitive showdown to say
Who's the best in
who
the studio?
is the best?
That'll actually happen really soon. I mean, right now it's really busy, and we're super close to being done with the game, so people don't actually have time to do that. But I think within the next week or two, there's actually going to be a little more free time, and people, before they take their vacations, will probably do some
Who do you think is gonna
internal
be?
ladder. It's definitely between Joe Tung and Luke
Yeah,
Timmons. I
those
think
two.
those two guys
Yeah.
are just amazingly good.
Now, one of them's quietly confident, And the other one's an evil jerk. Now,
Wait,
which one?
are you playing with the same
Sorry,
Luke
Joe.
Timmons that I play
It's
with?
just jokes. Yeah.
Every time I've played with him, he's like loud and like Joe Tongue part dude.
No one's like as loud as Joe Tongue. It's all relative,
Didn't you
right?
guys have a match? I guess you already talked about that, huh? You guys had that match with
Yeah,
Joe Tongue
when
and-
when
Have you eaten those steaks yet?
no, we're still waiting for the
Yeah.
spectacular to be paid up.
I owe Luke and who else?
Joe Tongue.
Joe Tongue and
State.
steak.
It was
That's
you and
right.
Joe State.
That's right.
I've gotten a lot of messages on BNet actually about people asking if Steaktacular can be in the game. They're like, could winning by 40% be a medal? Because that's the deficit, right? It'd be a
Right.
40% deficit would be a Steaktacular.
It's not a bad idea, but
It's a little
It's
too
just-
late.
it's a little
so
too late.
late.
Yeah.
It'd be an easy medal to draw. It'd just be a T-bone, right? It'd be
Some
sweet.
guy sent me.
We'd have to
concept
totally
art.
go through and get that approved by like the freaking USDA.
Yeah, we'd have to put it
choice
through
and-
USDA. It'd have to go through GOPS to be like, well, it's beef, and it'd just be
Yep.
a nightmare.
You'd be surprised.
Vegetarians might object.
Yeah,
It would have to be like tofu-tacular.
Ah.
Nobody wants to win that.
exactly. So we should talk about E3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
E3,
that's what-
why we're
that's-
here.
this is when
everyone's
this
going to
is
be
coming
watching
out,
it
so
all
we
week.
We're
should-
That's
talking
true.
about E3 before we've ever seen E3, but commenting on it.
All right.
Well,
Well, let's
predictions,
just
Yeah, okay.
let's predict.
Lars, why don't you kick it off then, since you're so
Oh, so gung ho
so
about
pepped
this.
up about E3?
Well,
What do
the
you
first
got?
thing, I mean, one of the first things that people are expecting about E3 is there was the leak this week about Sony dropping the price on the PS3 100 by $100.
Is a rumor.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean, my theory was that it was just retail materials that, like, I'm pretty sure that before anybody goes to an E3, they're prepared for a price drop so they can match their competitors. And I think Sony just, like, their materials got leaked. That's what it looked like. I have no idea.
So are you saying no on a price drop?
No, I think absolutely somebody's going to do something. And we should caveat, we genuinely don't know. Like, if Microsoft did a price drop, they wouldn't have told us. We'd have no way of knowing. So we'd find out at E3 like everybody else.
They want to keep it a secret so they
Yeah.
can drop the bomb. You know,
Right.
just like
So there
just like
may-
if Sony was going to do that,
or
they'd do
not?
the
It's
same
all it's
thing.
bluffing. And
Yeah,
Right.
it's all bluff. I'm sure everyone's ready with a hair trigger. So, like, nobody wants to drop price when they can keep selling consoles successfully.
Speaking
so.
of consoles, there should
I
be a
think
new
that there's,
console.
yeah,
on
A
there.
there's a
new
new console on the channel this fall, right?
What?
It's,
What are you guys talking about? I'm completely confused.
The Mongoose?
Codename Mongoose. Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the super snazzy Halo console.
I'm playing dumb.
Oh, yeah,
for
we
the
know
effect of the
you
people
are,
at
but
home.
we're
Oh, God damn
we're
it.
explaining it
Oh,
as if
God,
we
Lars,
knew
we're
that.
going to explain it to him.
Lars,
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
Oh, my God.
All right, so explain
I know
what it
this
is.
future
Yeah.
time warp thing.
So-
but by the time people hear this, somebody would have already showed it to
Oh,
them.
know.
really?
In fact,
They're going to announce it.
we're actually using a debug version of that same box
Right.
to do our demos behind closed doors. So even if they don't announce it at the keynote,
It's gonna
Frank and
be
I would have then
announced
inadvertently
anyways.
announced it anyways to hundreds of media.
I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's
so-
true.
Got it.
So
Name.
tell us about the box. What's the difference?
So it is. So first off, it's a 20 gig hard drive. Many of the differences are purely cosmetic. It's really, it's like kind of a case modder's dream. It's Halo and UNSC themed. It's actually very, very subtle. So you have the one part that's not subtle is the bling, right? It's the all the chrome from a premium edition or pro edition is gold Spartan faceplate gold. So it's reflective and it looks
Real-time
really cool.
reflections.
Yeah, it is
Stencil
real-time reflection
shadows.
thanks to the power of physics. And the case itself is a kind of army green, and it's covered in like UNSC. I mean, I don't know what to call it. It's like liturgy. There's a few cool little things in there from the Halo universe. It's definitely worth examining the pictures that they're about to put out.
What about the controller?
The controller matches perfectly. It's the same color plastic. Both the controller and the console have a little red stud for the wireless sync.
Oh, it's so cool.
And actually, I just noticed today the wireless headset,
Yeah.
the finished one,
Has
has,
this-
a red stud as well for the wireless sync.
Did you
Yeah,
get your
it's
free
really
headset?
cool.
I did get my free headset.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
super
awesome.
psyched.
That was like the best
Yep.
5 minutes I've ever spent.
I
I,
know.
answered
Exactly.
one questionnaire. I used it once, and I got a free one.
That was the easiest questionnaire
Yeah,
I ever
I
answered
know.
as
Well,
well.
Does this headset
questionnaire?
work?
What's the deal?
So we
you
tested
You didn't
the-
beta test the new
Yeah,
Halo
we tasted
headset?
the Halo
we
headset.
were beta testing that Halo headset.
Oh, is that before you came
and
along?
No, it was here. I just never took one out.
That must have
We-
been the same time we
I
did
was
the
using
order
it-
for Legendary Editions, too,
Yep.
that you also did.
Yeah, I missed that too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
back to Russia.
I know.
But we beta tested the new headset. It has slightly new tech and it's better reception and
Yeah.
all that. I mean, I don't think anyone said anything negative about it, so we were psyched. And we were the only ones that knew it came with the the Mongoose console. So
Oh, and the other thing about the Mongoose that's kind of cool, it's just a small little side note, is for AV enthusiasts, it does have an HDMI connection
Frank, that's
on
a big deal, right? To you.
now nobody cares about HDMI interface,
I'm-
digital
I'm
interface.
It's like
stoked
one
on
less
it.
cable if you really don't
I'm
want to deal
stoked
with
on the
it.
HDMI.
Yeah, I love it. I'm
version.
surprised they didn't mention
Ah.
it, but all my TVs at home are HDMI. Like, it doesn't do that much for quality, and the 360 will do 1080p through component. So you're not going to really see any big picture differences. It just makes everything much easier. Like, you just go pop, and you're plugged in. And especially for us, because we have to take consoles home a lot, it's actually a big deal because you have to unplug like 6 cables and put in one cable.
Yeah.
One cable future. That's where we're going. You have to see the console up close. So it's so like
I think the coolest thing about it is that from a distance, it just looks like a cool looking green
Right.
console.
Yeah.
And then when you look at it,
there's so much
really,
detail.
there's a
and
ton of really tiny, subtle detail. And I think it's just super cool looking.
And we were, I think I can say this pretty safely, right? We did a lot of the graphic design for this.
Internally,
Yeah,
right? You're saying
Aaron
internally,
LeMay,
Aaron LeMay did it.
one of
Yeah.
our art directors. He actually helped design that thing a lot. It's very cool.
Did he do the Zune as well, or was that someone else?
He did.
He
work
did,
on the
yeah. He
Zoom,
worked
yeah.
with some of the guys on the hardware team over there and had a big role in art directing that as well.
Chris Butcher, the technical lead at Bungie, stopped in. He's got a foreign voice that's even sexier than Frank's, so he's going to tell us a little bit about his predictions for E3.
Well, I don't know. It's not that hard to be sexier than Frank, but I'll give it my best shot. So I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows what we're going to see from E3 this year. I mean, there's all of this hoopla about a changed format, but it seems like all the big publishers are still kind of lining up to put their best day forward. You know, Microsoft's always had the X06 thing that they've done in the past, and we've seen Sony doing the same thing this year with Gamers Day. But it really seems like all the publishers are just going out there and saying, you know, we're still going to have our big press conferences. We're still saving lots of big reveals for this. It seems like there's going to be really kind of a similar thing as far as the way that the news goes. But one of the things I'm really looking forward to actually is some of the stuff that's going to show up on Marketplace. I don't think anybody outside the Xbox teams actually had a chance to see the stuff that's on Marketplace, but I've talked to some of those guys, and they've got all of these really cool new tools which they originally developed for doing advertising on Xbox Live Marketplace, which is not necessarily that cool or sexy. But one of the things it lets you do is you can just put a ton of content up there with all these little sub pages and pop-up movies and fun stuff. I haven't seen the full feature list, but I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, they Microsoft briefed me on that back when I was at Ziff Davis, actually. I've been wondering when that was going to sort of be implemented onto the marketplace.
Yeah, so let's see, real predictions. Boy, I think Mass Effect's going to be awesome. Actually, I bought the prequel novel and read it in
BioWare
one
my
night.
God.
Oh,
Fanboy.
The prequel novel was pretty good. I gotta say, I really hats off to them. There was their guy Drew Karpyshki. How do you pronounce his name, Luke? Do you know?
You're asking the wrong guy about who's the author of the Mass Effect book.
all right. Anyway, he's the lead writer on the game. I was amazed that he has time to write a novel as well as ship the game at the same time. But you know.
that going on too, Joe.
That was Frank chiming in saying we've got that going on with Joe Staten because he's working on a book as well.
Yeah, it's as though Joseph was doing that at the same time as also writing for Halo 1, though, which would be kind of crazy. Anyway, so I'm really looking forward to Mass Effect. I think it's going to be really cool. I've heard there's some pretty exciting rumors of great stuff coming out for the keynote. I hope the stuff we're doing comes together in time. It's looking pretty scary right now, speaking from about a week before the show. But
The truth comes out.
It's gonna be
it's
fun.
always
Wow.
scary. We do our finest work in our darkest hour.
Last minute.
Yeah, I think I was the only one who was at Bungie when they did the E3 2000 trailer in the movie theater there. Everybody sitting here, but oh my god, that build came together so late. It was crazy. Yeah, we've always done our best work under pressure like that. I'm really excited to see how the stuff we're doing turns out for the C3. Anyway, I gotta go get back to fixing bugs.
Yeah,
Cool.
help finish the game.
Finish the fight, Luke.
All right.
No,
Yeah, stay on message.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Have you guys picked your favorite armor permutation for launch so we can go rancoring in the scrubs?
Interesting. Yes.
Yeah, I know what one mine
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
mine is. We all know what ours is.
Hey, Lars, is yours the one that for the longest time was on your desktop holding the shotgun? Remember that one?
I will probably do something like that. Yeah, that was something I was toying with for a little while.
That's the same helmet that I really like.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't want you two guys
So let's
dressed
see.
the
We
same.
had about 700,000 people played the beta. We have a handful of armor options. Luke, somebody out there is going to have the same armor as you. I hate to say it.
I know.
There
No,
are a
if
number,
you had
I mean,
color-
there are a number of
If
options.
you mix and
Color,
match
armor,
colors, pieces, you're right. It's
mix
quite.
and
It's
match.
quite a bit.
There's
I
left,
think
right,
it's
shoulder pad, body.
millions.
What is
and
the number?
helmet.
Has anyone run that?
I
run
think
that
the
math?
number is
Where's
larger
Butcher?
than the number of
Where's
possible
Butcher?
players.
Well,
we can do the
well,
math right
I mean,
now. We can just
Oh,
figure
we
out how
can't-
many.
Yeah, because it's a
Oh,
helmet. and
so are you talking? I mean, if you factor
How
in,
many possible
factor
unique
in-
combinations are there?
if you factor in emblems,
No.
Okay.
I don't want to include.
Okay,
emblems.
I was including emblems
I don't know,
for
but
the
if you factor
infinite.
in emblems, it's
It's
pretty much
infinite,
it's way
right.
bigger than our. Yeah.
Because then you got backgrounds and all that. I don't think emblems are really.
But emblems look much more pronounced in Halo 3 than they did in Halo 2.
And there's
you
a
can
lot
see
more
them better.
options too. They're pretty cool. I have my favorite now.
Yeah,
I don't even
cowboy
think-
hat and a kitten. Come
Yeah.
on, just admit it.
Is that yours? Is that
Kitten
what
with a
you're
cowboy
going
hat.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not. I think internally the kitten with the cowboy hat and the bow tie is pretty awesome.
The
but
bow tie is what makes it so
I
adorable.
know.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be my public face to the world in Halo
with?
3.
Is yours going to be more hardcore?
Yes.
More
So
intense?
if there's a way like there was in Halo 2 to actually denote that you're a Bungie employee, are you going to choose to do that, or are you going to be undercover?
Depends. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Depends on if I think I'm going to win.
Yeah. if I win,
Isn't your gamer tag already public now? For
well,
Yeah.
if people do a little bit of research, they'll
Various
figure
Yeah,
it
they
out.
read the
It's
hump days,
pretty
send
easy.
1,000 friend requests,
Yeah.
1,000 messages.
I wonder if
Thanks.
they're ever going to actually increase the size of a friends list.
That's a good question. I'm actually maxed out right now. Totally
Yeah, I
maxed
think-
out.
I'm close to maxed out, but if there's someone I really want to add, I just can't someone. It's no big deal. Like I don't really have
Anyone whose name I don't recognize exactly, they're gone.
Yeah, and somehow like 90% of your friends list are all women.
What do you mean somehow? I deliberately pick women
Yeah,
to be on
it
my
just
friends
happens-
list
it's
because they're
true.
hot.
Look at his friends
If you're
list.
trying to infer that I pick them because they're chicks, it's not an inference, it's a fact.
Well, hats off to you, sir.
Cowboy hats and kitten faces.
the way that I'll call my friends list is just by looking at what people are playing right that second, and I'll just kick someone who's playing something like, "What are you playing that for?" Delete.
Yeah, you're like, he has a higher score than me in Geometry Wars. Bye.
Actually, hold on. I think we're getting a call on our other line. I think can we take a call?
Yeah. Take a call. Put it through.
This is a new segment we're going to try to do. Celebrity call-ins. Let's go live to Luke. Queue up line 3. I think we have a special guest on the phone.
What's up, poofters?
Sean Connery.
You call me Mr. Connery, or you'll find my foot up your arse.
Sir Connery, it's an honor to have you on our
Yes, it is. I hope you're pleased. I hope you like it.
E3 predictions from you.
I've got plenty of predictions. Legend of Zelda, multi-format. Wait, that's not the kind of prediction I make. I stand by it, however. Legend of Zelda, multi-format. What else? What else is coming up?
Talk to me about Killzone.
Killzone. What is Killzone? Is that the fellows with the gas masks?
Yeah, that's those guys.
They're delicious. There's a man's arse. Oh, it's not a man, it's Dan Miller.
One of our mission designers just pressed his butt cheeks up against the window and spread.
I saw daylight.
Sean, a lot of fans may not know this, but you actually were pretty active during the Halo 3 beta, right?
I was very active. My name is Char. You may have seen me down the battle of a gun.
What other E3 predictions you got? Talk to me about Nintendo. Zelda multi-format. What else?
Another peripheral for the Wii.
What does this one do?
It's pornographic, I can't say. We're not ESRB age-gated.
So what have you been working on lately? I haven't heard from you in an age.
I've been working on a sequel to Dragonheart, a sequel to Zardoz, and a sequel to Robin and Marion. In fact, sequels to all of my most popular films.
What about The Rock?
The Rock. Oh, that's the one where I drove over those hippies. Can you just San Francisco? They shouldn't have got in my way.
We're going back to The Rock.
We're going back to The Rock.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
Do we have anything else for Mr. Connery?
I don't know. Do you want to sit in for the show? Are you busy this afternoon?
Whatever happened to the Wonder Swan? I used to love that thing. It was delicious.
What?
The Wonder Swan. It was like a Game Boy, but less gamey.
It was a portable system, Japan.
Luke, you're the
No,
ex-game
Lars
journalist.
just pulled out some like otaku referential
No,
stuff.
totally. The Wonder Swan was kind of sweet. It actually had ports of Final Fantasy 1.
Why are you such a noob?
Has Sean Connery ever voiced a game? Mr. Connery?
Yes, I was in Dragonheart. Of course, one of the best-selling games of all time.
So what do you think of Lair?
I've been better, Dragon.
Thanks for calling in, Mr. Connery.
Thanks.
It's
Yeah,
an
call
honor.
back anytime.
Peace.
9 more months. We'll do it again. Yeah, people actually should go on BNet and give feedback to Luke. What
Yeah.
do you like? What do you like to see
Yeah,
in
actually,
future
visit
episodes?
BNet. There will be a thread on the forums where you can say, like, needs more stereo, lol.
If there was something that you thought was particularly good about the
Cowbell.
podcast, tell me or Brian. And if there's something you thought that sucked, then contact Luke directly. And his email address is...
And that'll be all for this week. Tune in 9 months when the Bungie podcast gives yet another birth.
We're the Bungie kids with plasma pistols glowing. It's our